Okay, Tushita Lake, and welcome you all to this Bodhichitta retreat based on Bodhisattva Shantideva's book, A Guided Bodhisattva's Way of Life, Chapter 8. Okay, first of all, let me quickly explain to you about this book. This book, please raise your hands if you did not get this book. Raise your hands. Okay, raise your hands, raise your hands. Raise your hands, just raise your hands. Raise your hands if you did not get this book. Okay, please raise your hands if you did not get the book. Okay, so first of all, let me quickly explain about this book. Before that, yes, if you have noticed, some of you may have taken part in his morning's program in the main temple. How many of you been there? Raise hands. How many been to this morning's program? Okay, so this morning's program is in the anniversary, 90th birth anniversary of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and organized primarily by Tibetan Buddhist Center, Singapore, and supported by many other centers from South Korea, from Malaysia, and from other places. I think about like 10 host centers were there. And they put a lot of effort to really to make this event a great success. That's amazing. It's in commemoration of the 90th birth anniversary of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. And we, in our own capacity later on, and those of us who are already aware of His Holiness's the thought processes, his contribution to the world, his contribution to the ecology, his contribution to bridging the gap between rich and poor, contribution to the upliftment or the empowerment of the women, and so forth, education, and world peace, and so forth. You will come to know that this is something we need to work. The direction in which we need to work to extract a purpose, meaning out of one's life, to make the world a better world, although the world at the moment is going through a deep crisis. Everywhere in the world, if you are totally oblivious to the current affairs, that's a different story. Otherwise, if you are a little aware of the current affairs in the world, you see that the world is really turning deeply into a crisis, state of crisis. It's quite alarming. At the same time, we still have, say, the great leaders like His Holiness the Dalai Lama, who solely works for the welfare of the world peace, and so forth, to really help those marginalized and empower the weaker sections of the community, to bridge the gap between rich and poor, and that too through the imparting the education of the heart. So these things, once in a while, during the course of the studies, the next 8 days, these things will continue to pop up, and I'll be happy to address those things, share, and listen to you also. Okay, so let us also make this 8-day program a program to, let's say, to support, to be a part of the efforts of His Holiness for the world peace, that each one of us will also become the part to make this His Holiness's vision for the world a reality. So having said this, first of all, this book that is in your hand, The Blaze of Non-Dual Bodhicittas, this is, don't think that there's a ready-made book available. for the retreatants. No, this is not like that. This is like more than 20 years, almost 25 years of effort. This book started from very thin, continues to grow in size. And then one time, I think about like maybe 10, 12 years ago, one gentleman said that in Geshe-la, so now you have to publish this book. Don't wait till it becomes perfect, because it'll never become perfect. You have to publish, otherwise it'll never be published. And he's very right. Still, it is not published after 25 years. But this has been constantly reprinted because the use is there, benefit is there. So we agree with him. And this book that is in your hand, this is not because that this is a part of this book is a part of the retreat. This book is sponsored by very kind donors. A couple by the name Brother Alvin and Sister Christy from Singapore. Two of them are sponsored this book, and also Mr. Sonam Leo from Singapore, he and his family. They also supported the sponsorship of this book, and the major part by these two couples, Brother Elvin and Sister Christy from Singapore. And please let us also keep this in our mind, that the merits that we gathered be dedicated to their well-being, that the Dharma practice, the peace of mind, and the Dharma practice becomes very successful, and they being able to successfully awaken the hidden treasure within them, within each one of us, and that they attain the state of what is known as a fearlessness and infinite happiness. So that is the dedicated medicine in that direction. And people like, for example, like Venerable Tudin Kumbela, the director of the Tushita Center. And so there, if they see this book, they'll see that this is a treasure, because English-dependent people, English language-dependent people, for them, to have something so concise that is so like the whole treasure is contained in this book, one book. So you'll see that this is extremely valuable, and this is not available in Amazon anywhere. You will not find it anywhere. So this is worked, produced, published by Tibet House, Delhi, Cultural Center of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. And this book, so through the kindness of these sponsors, is made available for all the participants for free. Usually, this is given at the cost price, which means the printing cost, whatever it charges. The Tibet House just take this much, just the printing cost. That's it. And whereas the sponsors, they came so generously offered this to all the participants. So this book came to your hand, and because of their kindness, their generosity. This is just what I'd like to inform you. Then the next thing that I'd like to quickly share with you is that from tomorrow, the schedule, I think that is just attached there at the door, and the schedule is quite fixed. That what is expected is that morning, 5:45, we expected to be here in the hall. And those people who already attended such retreats with me, you know the schedule, 5:45. And what we do in the morning, 5:45 through till like 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock. So this is our standard time for the morning practice. And the first 2-3 days will be taken more for the explanations of what we're doing. So whatever we're doing, including starting with the making prostrations, and then offering lights, and then sitting and doing the various recitations, meditation, whatever we are doing, we need to know that we need to know the reasons. And if you don't, don't think that these are just rituals. Rituals are two kinds. One ritual which is the obsolete, outdated, and the other which is relevant. So the whatever we're doing, feel free. Don't feel that, oh, this is about a ritual, we cannot question it. No, they feel free to ask, come up with any question till the last day. Till the last day, say whatever we're doing, even the paintings, you have some questions, say the whatever. So we have to make sure that we know the reasons. That's very important. Okay. So the first in the morning, what we do is that we come and then we make prostrations. So what is meant by prostration? This question. We need to know what it is, and then why should we do that, and then how to do that. So first, what is prostration? Then once you know what it is, then why should I do it? Once you know that there's a reason that I should be doing it for my own benefit, then the next question is, hey, how? How should I do it? I want to do it. How do you do it? Cheesecake. I like to eat it. But how do you eat it? Right? First, what is cheesecake? You have no clue. Oh, cheesecake is a very delicious thing. You eat it, it gives you a very pleasant feeling. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. So, how to eat it? Right? How to eat it? So, what it is? Why should I eat it? How to eat it? Likewise, prostration. What is prostration? And why should I do it? And how to do it? Okay. What is prostration? Prostration means respect. Expect the expression of respect. And the respect what? So some people, they are against authority. Respect somebody means, no, I'm against authority. And some of you may be, you may have read Albert Einstein's biography, where he wrote that I am I'm somebody who is totally against authorities. Now I'm punished with the authority myself. He's an authority in physics. You agree? He was an authority in physics. You agree? Yes. Now he said, I'm punished by making me authority. I dislike authorities, and as a punishment, I become authority. This is what he said. Okay. So the point is that some people, they don't like authorities. It doesn't matter. Don't feel ashamed. Don't feel, say, odd. Say, if you are against authority, it's fine. But keep in mind, whether you're against, why you are against authority, and some, they don't mind. Authority is fine. What's the problem? As long as the authority does not exploit us, it's fine. So, why you don't like authorities? We have to check it. Don't just say that I don't like authorities. Why do you don't like authorities? Okay. So we have a sense of independence. The more we feel that I'm independent, why should I be under you? So that is, with this very strong sense of independence you have, this is the problem. This is the problem. So therefore, the point is that, say, independence, I can do it myself. I'm independent. Independent that I want happiness. I don't want suffering. And I can do it by myself. I don't need to depend on anybody else. Or I don't need to depend on the authority. So this sense that I can do it myself, I do it myself. You can do what? I can do to give myself joy, happiness, and make me free from miseries. Finally, this is what you want. So by reason, by this logic, by dependence on the authority, if your happiness grows, depend on authority. By dependence on authority, if your happiness decreases, don't depend on authorities. So there's no fixed rule. Whereas if you feel fixed that, oh, I don't like authorities, This is your fixation. It's your problem. Some people who always want some authority, higher authority to wish for. This is also another extreme. So eventually you should become independent. Eventually you should become independent. So all these discussions will happen every now and then. So to make it very quick, so this is the, let's say, keep in mind that I have the purpose of life. There should be a purpose of life. For that purpose, what that purpose is, we're going to learn in more detail from tomorrow morning. And there's a purpose. And to accomplish this purpose, I need to learn from somebody how to do that. I need to learn. So, and who is the best of teachers from whom you will learn? Somebody who has been through this path and reached the ultimate destination. These are the best teachers. Who's that? The Buddha Shakyamuni, the Buddha. In general, we call it Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So prostration is to express respect to the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas who actually treaded on this path and attained the goal of fearlessness and infinite happiness. So, the showing respect to them. And why should I show respect? Okay, the prostration means showing respect. I understand it. And then why should I show respect? Because, say, when you really want to learn something from person A, the Buddhist Bodhisattvas, want to learn from that person, say there's a great sense of affinity, great sense of, say, the inclination, affinity to that object, to that person. And that affinity is expressed in different forms. The expression of that affinity that I need to learn from you, that expression is known as respect. I respect your knowledge. I respect your compassion. So now the next question is, okay, if this is it, then they say, for example, let's say that say there's a place frequented by the COVID or tuberculosis and so forth, and then and there's another place where it's totally free from COVID or tuberculosis, whatever. So you want to go closer to that place. That closer you get to that place, you feel more freedom, that you will be free from these illnesses. So the closer you go towards these enlightened masters like Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, you feel more and more free. You like that. So that showing respect is to build a sense of the connection, build a sense of closeness, proximity to these enlightened masters from whom you're going to learn how to become fearless and how to expand the ease to infinity. So this is the meaning of the prostration or respect. Now the next is this is it, and then next is why should I do that? It's because that by doing so, my mind becomes closer towards these beings. The more my mind goes closer towards these beings, the more I can learn from these. For example, in the winter, okay, how many of you are from Scandinavian countries, presents? Or extremely cold places, presents? Winters that are cold. Okay, so there, if there's a room from the door, you could feel the heat. When you go, you are pulled towards that. You agree with me? Where there's a heat, your mind feels more ease, going there closer and closer. Your mind automatically take you closer towards that place where you could feel the heat. Likewise, so when you go towards these beings, enlightened masters, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, what happens is that you tend to acquire these qualities yourself more and more. For example, say, okay, which country you're from? US. Okay, from Vietnam. Say, I want to learn Vietnamese language. Where do you think should I learn it? If I ask you, I should go to Vietnam or I should stay in India and learn Vietnamese, which is more effective? go to Vietnam. You're getting it? So that's a place where you go learn, it'll be very quick. But if you learn in another place, it'll take a long time, and it's also going to be second-hand. It's not first-hand. It's second-hand cars. You're getting it? So therefore, the thing is that there you go closer, then you learn these qualities which make you fearless and which gives you infinite ease way quicker. So that is the reason why we have to go close to them in the form of respect, expressing respect, and prostrations. Now next is how. This expression of the respect is done physically, verbally, and finally it is a mental quality. It is a mental quality, but our mind is so gross that we require the physical and verbal to assess the mind mind to undergo the change. We require physical and verbal activities. So physical activity to improve this sense of respect within the mind, that is known as physical prostrations. The verbal expressions which make your mind to feel greater and greater respect to the objects of the veneration. And this is known as the verbal respect, and then mental respect. So there are three kinds of respect. And so tomorrow, prostration, physical version, what we do is that tomorrow, how we do that is that, and then prostration, there are so many different kinds, different forms of doing. The Christians, they do in one form, then the Muslims, they do one form, the Buddhists, they do in one form, Hindus, they do in one form, and likewise the Sikhs, Jains, the Jews, everybody has their own ways of making prostrations. And within Buddhism, say Theravada Buddhism, Chinese Buddhism, Vietnamese, Tibetan Buddhism, they all have different ways of doing it. So who's correct? Who's correct? All are correct. All are correct as long as the mental sense of respect is being activated. Activated, then whatever, all are correct. It's not that the Tibetan version is correct and others are not correct, or others are correct and Tibetan version are not. No, anything is correct. Any gesture, as long as it activates your sense of respect more and more, that is correct. So according to the Tibetan tradition, how we do is that, okay, this I'm going to quickly share with you, that we fold the hands like this, and the two thumbs inside, and make it like a gem, like a gem. So this there are many detailed explanations there, and I'm somebody who do not like to go into too detail. Right? Sometimes go into too detail. I'm not too sure how accurate they are. Sometimes we don't know even the date of the Buddha, but we tend to know every detail of what the Buddha said. So I'm not too sure. But those things which help us to transform your mind, to make your mind more at ease, to make your mind more, say the fearless, compassionate. So these things are something so obvious, that by doing so, this is what for. You exist for that purpose, to make yourself a happier person, to make yourself more fearless person, and then, okay, how to become happier, how to become the fearless. So this is what for we are here. We have to study that. So meanwhile, you have to feel free to ask any questions if things are not too clear, and if you have, oftentimes, let us be also a little patient, that although day one, I may cover many things, and then many questions may come to you, and then you become so impatient and keep asking questions, then the syllabus, the course will never be completed. So oftentimes what happens is that the question that you have, most likely in the second and third day class, the question will be answered. This is what oftentimes happens. So therefore, be a little patient, and sometimes that I deliberately ask some questions to you, and these are the foods for thought, for more contemplation in the future. Okay, so this is say the so we have this hand gesture. So outside it looks like a gem. Gem is the precious gem. Precious gem is what fulfills your aspiration, your compassion. So this symbolizes compassion, the physical aspect, because compassion is like a gem. Just as a gem makes you fulfill your aspiration, the compassion. Anybody who has a deeper and deeper compassion on the person can really feel your happiness expanding. So compassion is the exemplified by this, the external shape of the gem. It should be a reminder for us that finding what I want is what I expand my ease of mind, and for that, compassion is the key. Universal compassion is the key. And how to cultivate this? Okay, you have to practice it. Just practice it. How to practice it? I don't know. No, you have to practice it. It will not help. So, how to cultivate it? You need to know all the systematic steps. You know the steps. How to practice them one by one. Okay. And then hollow insight is hollow insight. So this hollow insight symbolizes wisdom of emptiness. In other words, outside symbolizes the compassion, and inside hollow symbolizes the wisdom of emptiness. And what is wisdom of emptiness? Don't worry, this is one of the cores. Although the focus is on bodhicitta, the compassion side, but the wisdom side we have to include in this. So like the two wings of the bird to cross the ocean of miseries. They're like the two wings of the bird. One wing is the wing of compassion, universal compassion, and technically known as bodhicitta. Bodhicitta, the title of the topic for this retreat is bodhicitta. And the other side is the wisdom, wing of the wisdom. So these are two wings required for us in order for us to experience fearlessness and experience infinite happiness. In other words, to cross the ocean of the miseries and cross the ocean of the dissatisfactions to reach to the ultimate state of happiness. So this is what it is. Now, on this hand gesture, you touch at 4 spots or 3 spots. That's up to the individual. If 4 spots, then is a crown, forehead, throat, and heart. Let me repeat it. If you want to touch this at 4 spots, crown, forehead, throat, and heart. And why these 4 spots? Again, we have to know the reason. The crown, it says that when you become a Buddha, Buddha doesn't mean Buddhism. Buddha means somebody who attains the full awakening. When you become a Buddha, so your job is to benefit the beings. Look at His Holiness the Dalai Lama, just one person. And how many millions and millions of people benefited? How many millions and millions of people benefited? Just He only shows His face, and how many millions get peace of mind? So this is the deed of benefiting others. So finally we come to learn over the next 8 days, we come to learn that what we really seek is twofold. One is to get away from the fears, and the other to expand your ease, expand your happiness. Twofold. And for the ease, the secret of the expansive happiness is the universal compassion. Universal compassion, who's ever practiced that, your happiness expands, your ease expands. And the wisdom, this is a common factor to create the fearlessness and the infinite happiness, but then more immediately, this wisdom will create fearlessness in you. Okay, so these are the 2 wings. So we see that when you become a Buddha, so from the crown, how you perform the activities and deeds, the welfare of the sentient beings is, from the crown, the major part of your altruistic, the beneficial activities are done through your crown. When you become enlightened yourself, when you become each one of you, when you become Buddha, you, me, when you become Buddha, then how we benefit the beings is greatly done through your crown. So we, when you do this, when we touch the crown, we should be mindful that I'm activating this seed from which, when I become Buddha, I'm going to benefit all the beings. Then next is the forehead. At the forehead, you see that, say, there is some kind of dot there at the forehead of the Buddha. There's a dot there. So this is, say, the spot from when you become a Buddha. Again, this is a spot where, like for example, say, is there anybody who did PhD? 1, 2, 3. Okay, young ones not interested in PhD. Okay, so say to do PhD, which means that you have completed your doctorate degree. Finally, although you submitted your thesis, you did a viva, but somebody has to declare that you are awarded the PhD degree. You should get the certification. You agree? Those who got PhD? Yes. So some people, they already submit their thesis and it remain like this for 2 years, no one taking interview, no one taking the viva, and the PhD got extended, and after the viva still you don't get the certificate, right? Okay, so somebody has to certify you that you are a PhD, you have completed PhD. Likewise, for other beings to awaken the hidden treasure, for other beings, they eventually move to the, say, Bodhisattva level. Bodhisattva level, within that there are various levels. So finally, when they reach to the highest level, for them to become Buddhas, ultimate, that you have to empower them to become Buddhas. So this spot, the forehead, from there, there's a bindu there, there's a dot there, that is actually hair. Hair in a particular, the clockwise, the circular, clockwise. So that spot is the one through which the bodhisattvas on the last bodhisattva level, they are being empowered to become Buddhas. So this is the spot from which you empower them. Then the throat. Throat is again with respect to help benefiting others. Say which is the better way to help somebody. Say you give breakfast to a person every day, or you teach the person how to get breakfast. Which is better? Why teach? You don't want to give. Huh? Huh? No, which is better? I know both are good. I'm asking which is better. Okay, to teach the person. Okay, why teaching is better? Because the person may, yes, in the first place, person will feel freedom. That person doesn't have to know what to do all the time. Number one. Number two, that you may even move. Which country are you from? Israel. From Israel, you may come to India. Then who's going to feed that person? You're getting it? So these questions are there. So therefore, whereas if the person learns how to look for breakfast himself or herself, then become independent. Even if you're not there, still the person will continue to get breakfast. You're getting it? So you have to teach. Finally, the best way by which to help others is to teach. Teaching. Teaching is done through hands or voice. Speech. So therefore, touching your throat, this is to activate your voice to teach the ultimate way how to attain fearlessness and how to attain infinite happiness. This is for that purpose. And next is the heart. Heart is a spot. Heart is a spot where When you become a Buddha, your body is not going to become Buddha. Your mind is to become Buddha. And where's the residence? Main residence of the mind is the heart. Is the heart. For example, if you ask me where is your main residence, I'll say in my main residence in Delhi. But if you go to Delhi, you will not find me. I travel a lot. You're going to, but my main residence is there, right? For example, Sherabla, you came to Delhi or not? Tibet House? Came? How many times? Once, because she knows I'm not there. Whereas in Sherabla, Carl resents, he doesn't know that I'm not there, so he keeps coming there. And he doesn't find me. So although that is my main residence, so likewise, your mind, the main residence of your mind is the one who is going to become enlightened. And where is the main residence of the mind? Is the heart. So when you touch this heart, this is the spot where you're going to become enlightened. Your mind is going to become enlightened. This is a spot. Activating this most pure mind this is a spot where you're going to activate your most pure mind. Okay, so these are four. So when you touch these four spots, then you should be reminded of yourself that, okay, so I have to benefit the beings the most efficient way through the crown. I should say empower the other bodhisattvas to become Buddha through my forehead, and the speech. I have to eventually benefit the beings most effectively by giving the teachings how to attain fearlessness and how to maximize your happiness to infinity. And attain enlightenment is done at the residence of your mind. The ultimate residence is your heart. So 4 spots or 3 spots. 3 spots, body, crown or a forehead, up to you, and then the speech and the mind. Finally, what we have the body, we have the speech, and we have mind. That's what you are. That's what I am. And when you become Buddha, you should, these 3 things. Your body should become your body. This impure body we leave it and attain a pure body. Speech, imperfect speech, and attain the perfect speech, and a mind attain the purest of the mind. So this is what it is. So we touch these 3 spots, and then the 2 palms and the 2 knees and your forehead, the 5 spots, you touch the ground. Touch the ground, and tomorrow you will see. There are many who are already exposed to this, so you will see how they are made prostrations. The 5 spots, the 2 palms, the forehead, and the 2 knees touch. Full length prostration, half prostration, up to the individual. Both are correct. Okay, so this is about the prostration. And when you make the prostrations, you're prostrating to all the enlightened masters, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. And when you think of that, you think of all the Buddhas, the whole space occupied by infinite Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. That way the benefit will be much, much, much more. And technically it is known as the merit accumulation. And then many of you may be wondering what is merit accumulation. And there are many seniors, meaning who've been attending these retreats and also attending the classes, the technical classes. You can ask them, or you can also ask me if you like. And then alongside, imagine that it's not just you making prostration, but imagine all the sentient beings making prostration with you, because your compassion has to be expanded. When you think of this, your compassion expands. Only when you're compassionate, then you can think of others. When you don't think, if you're not compassionate, for example, the small children. Small children, when you give a chocolate, they may ask for 2 more. Why? Because they're 2 brothers or 2 sisters for them. Because they love their brothers and sisters. If they don't love their brothers and sisters, they will not care to ask for them. They'll just take his share for stop. So with this, thinking of all the beings with you making prostrations, you are actually exercising your compassion. Okay, So with this is prostration. Then after that, we're going to offer the lights. The lights. So there are like 3 or 4 places where we offer the lights, and we offer the lights to the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and the lights symbolizes the wisdom. And what the light does is that it dispels the darkness of ignorance. So finally, why we are suffering is all because of the ignorance. And to remove this ignorance, which otherwise makes us suffer, the light is required. Likewise, to remove the darkness of ignorance, we require the light of the wisdom. So this light that you offer, imagine that you are igniting the light of the wisdom to dispel the darkness of ignorance. And this light, although we are offering just one light, imagine that you are offering the whole universe filled with lights offered all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, and that too, that all sentient beings are with you, offering the lights together with you to all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas. Okay, this is about the light offering. And then we said, and the other things which require to be explained, I'll explain them. The verses have to be explained, we'll explain later. Then one thing which is very important thing is that the group discussion. I'm going to identify some of the senior students, and and senior students meaning those who have attended such retreats more. So the whole group will be divided into like 10 or 8. 86, which means like 8 will be good. 8. And then the 8, we will assign the group leaders, and the group leader's job is just to let everybody get a chance to speak, because that the group leaders who I'm going to identify, for example, like, okay, so we have, say, Joshua raise hand, Joshua, then Carlton Shirla, okay, Tenzin Samsala, and then the Tenzin Chindala. No, the girl here, the masters in chemistry. Yes, Tenzin. This is Bedruna. This is Bedruna, and the Omar. Omar is there. Kate is there. Okay, and Anka is there. Then the okay, so we still need more. I will try to identify some of, and so the group leaders, your job is to give chance to as many people in your group to speak, ask questions. And particularly, I see that most of you are, say, at least to me, you are the beginners. There are many seniors, but many of you are the beginners. So the beginners, I would say that don't say, let's not go into the extreme. One extreme is always to remain quiet, listen to somebody speaking. You also speak. That's very important. Okay, the questions that you might have, you may think that these questions are very silly. It doesn't matter. So if you're perfect, no need to come here. So because we have to learn. You come here, I came here to learn. So any question that you might have, feel free to bring this up. This is to avoid one extreme. Extreme, not to always remain quiet. You also speak. And what do you think? Just share. And then particularly, the beginners, I would say, your job is primarily to ask questions. Don't be excited to give answers. Because that if you give answers, you can go off the track, and sometimes some people, when they give the answers, they will spend like whole 5 minutes, 10 minutes sometimes. They give whole big lecture, and then the others will not get chance to speak. So therefore, I would say particularly those people who have already studied Buddhism for the last 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, you take you instead of asking questions, you give the answers very succinct, 1-2 minutes, full stop. Don't want to try to go at length, like 5 minutes. We don't have time. And so this is one thing. And after a while, maybe after a while, meaning I would say that the seniors will be good, and the seniors, the leaders, you can also identify somebody else who you see as more learned. You can also let them take charge as a moderator, as a group leader. So, but the ones that are identified, make sure that you take the lead of your group. This is one thing. And the group discussion is very important. And tea and group discussion happening together. Tea break and group discussion happening together. And the next is, okay, observing silence. Retreats. There are several retreats. Silence, the silent retreat, and more flexible retreat. So retreat that we're doing is not a silent retreat, for the reason that our mind requires two things. Our mind requires to stop the reactivity and to activate the proactivity. You getting it? It's not only stopping the reactivity. Don't react, don't react, don't react. This is one part of the story. There's another part of the story, which is encourage the proactivity. Don't encourage reactivity, encourage proactivity. These two are different. So, say those meditation retreats which emphasize only on the stopping the reactivity, for them silence is encouraged. Whole day silence is to stop the reactivity. That's it. Not to encourage the proactivity. But what we need is, okay, say, tell me, say in your family, if there's a boy or a girl, somebody who's totally restless all the time, restless, would you be happy, not happy? Not happy. What do you want that person to be? Not reactive. Not reactive. You agree? Good. Now there's another person where a robber comes and the person keeps smiling. A robber comes and the person keeps smiling. Not react, but keep smiling. And steals everything, still smiling. And your watch also taken, still smiling. It's good, not good. It's not good, it's stupid. There's no reactivity, but proactivity is missing. You are letting the other person accumulate negative karma. And your parents will come. Your parents come, and then where's the watch? Where's this? Where's that? And the food. Oh, mom, I want food. And you've already, you remain so smiling when somebody's stolen your food. Right now you're asking food from me. So this is where the proactivity is, people mix up the two things, proactivity and reactivity. When you stop the reactivity, you're also stopping the proactivity. So we need to make a distinction between the reactivity and the proactivity, stop the reactivity and encourage proactivity. Sometimes the doctors, in the emergency department, somebody requires blood, somebody requires oxygen urgently, and the doctor's smiling. Right. Oh, this emergency, yes, I know. Yes. And when did it happen? When did it happen? And who's there? Right? And then meanwhile, yeah, I'll take care of him. First, let me have a cup of tea. By the time you come back, the person's gone. You're getting it? This is because of lack of reactivity or proactivity? Proactivity is so precious. You're getting it? Particularly to let your Buddha nature, hidden treasure, manifest fully. Reactivity is the one which stops your potential. Reactivity should be stopped. And then what is your potential? Proactivity. Proactivity must be encouraged. So two things are required. So Whereas sometimes we require to focus on the stopping reactivity. So there, silence meditation is very important. Sometimes you can also see for your own personal retreats where maintain silence more. Sometimes proactivity is required to train the proactivity. There in the group, say, make sure that you keep discussing, debating, debate, discuss. For example, even the medical doctors, anyone from any medical doctor? Any medical doctor? Then there's, yes, even the medical doctors, they discuss with a very serious matter, the issues. They discuss. Okay, this is one patient is going through this is a problem. So how should we deal with this? They discuss. This is activating the proactivity. You getting it? But they discuss. One brain is not sufficient. They require the support of many brains so that the emergent, the proactivity can emerge out of that. So that is activating the proactivity. So particularly, say, to make your Buddha nature manifest fully, that true nature of mind, which we're going to learn in this course, true nature of mind, which is so beautiful. This true nature of mind is not at all, the reactive. And it's full of extremely effectively proactive. No reactivity and effectively proactive. So this is your true nature. These two things need to be activated. So we need to focus on these two things. Because that this class is just 8 days, very short. So 8 days we are being too ambitious to think of both, stopping the reactivity and encouraging the proactivity. So we are being very ambitious. So let's work on this. It can be a little tiring for some of us because it requires a lot of proactive brain activation happening, which otherwise it doesn't really happen in our day-to-day life, because then at times you may feel a little tired. But I would encourage you, don't go to Mangalore too much. You know where's Mangalore? Mangalore's town. You can get, okay, I'm so tired, I will go to the town, Okay, so for 8 days, let us focus on this, take the maximum advantage of our being together. Okay, so then tomorrow, okay, so the silence, what usually what I say is that the evening after dinner there is an optional group discussion. There's optional. It happens in the Gumba, wherever. Okay, when Gumba will decide where. So that is the evening one is optional, where everybody will come together, meaning that anybody who's interested to have this optional group discussion, you can come together wherever at the place allocated. Be there. So there is going to be active discussions. And there also, please, I request that one person should not dominate the whole thing for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Don't do that. Just pick a maximum of 1-2 minutes, full stop, and give chance to other people. It's not that, whatever this aid, they should decide everything. It's not necessary, right? So so this is what we need to keep in mind. Just make sure that give chance to other people also to speak. That's very important. Okay, so with this in mind, tomorrow. Okay, first let me speak with the silence part. Silence part after dinner till the next morning, the next morning breakfast. It should be the observing silence, and then the evening group discussion. That is exception. Those who are part of the group discussion, of course, you need to discuss to activate your cognitive thought process to brainstorm on the various ways to rewire your mind, rewire your brain, the neurons, that your thinking becomes the proper and the undesirable thought processes are being eradicated. So this is the silence part. And then tomorrow is Sunday. On Sunday, Tibet House, we have 2 classes. One is from 3 to 4:30, and the other one is from 6 to 7:30. So 3 to 4:30 class coincides with the retreat program. So what we do is that the 3 o'clock, let us make it the online class and offline retreat. We will merge it together. In other words, tomorrow, the third session, 3 to 4:30, that's going to be the online class of Tibet House, which is known as the Nalanta Diploma Course, NDC, Diploma Course. And the topic is little advanced. Usually we see that those who like to join this class, the offline participants, although you are not registered for the course, don't worry, you can still join. Usually we say should be done at the risk of, at your own risk. At your own risk, because that it's too complicated. No, it's not for me, right? So, but don't worry, tomorrow is mandatory. It's not at your risk. So it becomes a part of the retreat. So just to get a flavor as to what is that Buddhist philosophy. So some say it's very complicated, some say it's very, what is that? Very beautiful, right? It'll take you to another plane of reality, like what? LSD, what do you call it? LSD, it takes you to LSD, LSD. Buddhism is like that. Some people have that. Then you will get what is real LSD. Right? Tomorrow, 3 to 4:30, you will see, okay, it's not LSD Buddhism, it's a different Buddhism. You're getting it? You will really get to know what is the real Buddhism, not the LSD Buddhism. You're getting it? So just to give you a flavor of what it is like. And if you want to really go for something which to be done at your own cost, that is evening 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock to 7:30, that is at your cost, at your own risk, right? Right? Okay, so I would say if you're a beginner, better not come 6 o'clock. And if you still want to come at your own risk. Okay, so that's it. And then enjoy yourself, your time. Don't take it too seriously. Relax. And some people, there are some who identified, they're really good in their philosophy, and then they don't feel demoralized. Once upon a time, even these people who identified, even they were like, once upon a time, they were the beginners. They didn't know anything. Now, after many years of the effort, now they know a great deal. They know a lot. And not only they know, you can see the transformation in them. You can see the transformation. Finally, learning all these things, there should be a reason there. There should be a purpose. If you don't remain transformed, the whole purpose is defeated. So therefore, some of the people who I identified, you can see them, their knowledge plus their transformation. And with this mind, be happy. Be happy at least the next 10 days while we're together. Be happy to make sure that we learn things with a sense of joy, spirit of joy, not a spirit of, no, I don't know anything. Look at this person, we know so much. Look at that person, know so much. I don't know anything. No, don't feel demoralized. You're getting it? So if you really want to be like that person, you also give us same amount of time as much as this person they did. And then after like 2 years, 3 years, 4 years of your dedication, of your time towards this, and if nothing really happens, if you still remain the same, I guarantee that you will not remain the same. You will be another inspiration to so many other beginners in the future. Okay, so with this in mind, as auspicious at the beginning, there's a recite from, let's turn to page 3 of the book. And for the next 2-3 days, in the mornings, I will explain some of the verses, the mantras, and so forth. And then by the 4th day, no explanations with respect to the morning practice. Of course, the classes are classes that's different. Okay, well, for time being, even though you don't know the meaning, finally we have to know the meanings. So for that, I'll try my best to explain this from tomorrow. So as auspicious beginning, we'll recite these verses together. Page 3. And two by great compassion. Okay, so sorry. Think of all the enlightened masters, sources of inspiration for you. For some of you, it may be Jesus Christ who is your source of inspiration. For some of you may be Lord Ram. Some of you it may be Prophet Muhammad, or some of you it may be the Guru Nanak. For some of you it may be Lord Mahavir or Bahula or Zoroaster or Buddha. So whoever you see as the somebody from whom I can learn compassion, I can learn the wisdom. Think of that. And imagine that all the beings are with you, and particularly your two parents. And some of you may have difficulty with the parents. Don't worry. So what we are here together is for the reason to transcend the ordinary people's thinking. What is ordinary people thinking? Ordinary people is marked by a little clash happens in your thoughts, clash of ideas, conflicts. That's ordinary. Versus great people, evolved people. Evolved ones are those where you see the clash of ideas. Clash of ideas should be seen as the foundation stone for your growth. Oh, it's not the same idea. She thinks like this. I think like this. And then is there any way by which I can prove that what I think is correct or what she is saying may be correct? Maybe my thinking needs to be modified. It should be a reason for you to be more flexible, for you to be more open-minded. So these people are known as the evolved beings. So think of your parents. Finally, in this course, we come to learn how to transcend the ordinary people's thinking. Ordinary people's thinking, what's the problem? The problem is that we become very unhappy person. Whereas when you transcend that, you become very happy. Difficult people are there, you are very happy. Nice people are there, you are very happy. In both cases, you are very happy. This is a wise person. So you will try to transcend ordinariness to become a wise person. Okay, so with this mind, visualize all the beings with you, including your parents, and visualize all the enlightened masters who are your inspirations for to increase your compassion and the wisdom. Page 3. And choose by great compassion, you taught the immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views, to you the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. And choose by great compassion, you taught the immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views, to you the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. And choose by great compassion, you taught the immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views, to you the Buddha Gautama, I pay homage. Okay, next let us turn to page 6. From tomorrow morning, we'll recite all the verses. Page 6, on the verse, on this mantra, essence of dependent origin mantra. First, let's read the meaning of that, followed by the mantra, actual mantra. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The cessation causes as well is taught by the great seer. And those of us who know how to recite the mantra will recite with me. And those who don't know how to recite it, just listen to us and join us 3 times. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham dathagato yavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye svaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham dathagato hyavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye swaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham dathagato hyavatat tesham chayo nirodha evam vati mahashramanaye swaha. Okay, now let us turn to page 52, dedication prayer. Let's do the dedication prayer and then we'll stop here. I dedicate the matters thus gathered to the realization of the deeds and the prayers of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas for 3 times, and to the upholding of the doctrine, scripture, and insight. May in all lives, through the force of this marriage, never separated from the 4 wheels of the Mahāyāna vehicle, and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, Bodhichitta, pursuing the 2 stages. From my 2 collections, past the space that I've amassed, from waking of the after death practice for a great length of time, may I become the shield leading Buddha for all those whose minds wisdomized blinded by ignorance. Okay, let's conclude with 3 prostrations together.